Okay, let's get more on what's at stake with Henry Wang, who is the president of the Center for China and Globalization. He joins us live from Beijing. Thank you for your time, sir. What role do you think China is prepared to play to ease tensions around the Strait of Hormuz, given its heavy dependence on Gulf energy flows?
Yes, I think this time the President Trump's visit to Beijing is so timely and significant. And as we see, the turmoil in the Middle East and also the recessions, possible inflations affecting the whole world. So I think coming to China, China is also a vital partner of the Middle East, of Gulf countries, and of Iranian as well. Last week, the Iran foreign minister was in Beijing, and I think Foreign Minister Wang has mentioned that the war should not be continued, and we need to have a dialogue, and the Hormuz channel should be open. So I think China has a really vital interest there, and 40% of China petroleum comes from Hormuz channel as well. So I think it's in both U.S. and China interest to see that happen. But of course, we need to stop the war and also have a justified outcome. So I think, I think both for U.S. and Iranians, they don't have any intention to further fight. They have been exhausted, have been stuck. So now they need a ladder to come down and gracefully. And then China just provided that handily, those stairs to come down so that we can probably back to peace. And I'm sure China could be a good catalyst and players, mediator, if necessary,
right.
To finish this war.
And given the close relationship between China and Iran, does Beijing see the Iran crisis as leverage when it comes to its negotiations with Washington on trade and tariffs and technology?
No, I don't think China needs that leverage because China has been really second time of Trump visit is so different than first time 9 years ago. Now China, as President Trump put it, it's a G2 already of the world status, and then near peer status, and also China's GDP has gone up doubled in the last 10 years. So China has already become a very strong, one of the largest economy in the world. And then Trump has to, deal with this seriously. I think U.S. has tried the sanctions, trade wars, containment, everything, so high fence, small yard. It doesn't all work. So now it's time that they pragmatically and realistically find solutions to coexist peacefully, even though we do not want to change each other. But let's really find a way to collaborate. And also, this happened to have this war in Iran, and also possibly we can help on the Russian-Ukraine war there. So China's factor is getting more and more important, and China can play more important role if U.S. get along with China on many of those consensus.
So back to the issue of the Strait of Hormuz, we often cover on this program how China managed to stock up on oil before the crisis actually happened. Give us some context. You in Beijing, how concerned is China really about the instability in the Strait of Hormuz and what damage it could do to its economy and long-term energy security?
Actually, I think China probably would be the least heating country. Other countries, Europe has heavily depended on the oil price so high, it's a jeopardized economy. And the U.S. stock market is fluctuate and is downwards whenever there's a war going on in Iran. And then Japan import 90% oil from Middle East, and also ASEAN and many other countries, South Korea, all depend on that. China, on the contrary, 60% of China energy now is renewable. And China also have a large inventory. And furthermore, China can buy also, if necessary, some cheaper gas from Russia or from Central Asia, from all the other sources. I don't think China has been affected heavily on that. We don't feel it here in China. So I think it does affect the rest of the world, affecting U.S., affect the stock market, and affect all other G7 countries. So I think in that sense, China is the largest trading partner of all the Gulf countries, and particularly of Iran. 90% of Iran petroleum comes to China. China have a huge impact and influence just by involving, by shaking hands, by presenting at the same table with U.S. I think that sent a lot of message. And the two largest economy of the world does not bear these kind of consequences.
Okay,
and they can work together to solve this problem. And yeah.
Thank you, Henry. It was really good to get your perspective. Henry Wang, president of the Center for China and Globalization, speaking to us there from Beijing.